Hello beautiful souls, I'm Leo, and welcome to Mystic Twinflame Tarot Psychic. I need to talk to you today about something very specific that's showing up in the energy. Someone in your field, someone close to you is very adamant, almost desperate, about pulling you back into what they consider traditional living. This person is tugging at your coattails, trying to convince you that their way of doing things is the right way, the only way. They're not just suggesting, they're insisting. They're pushing. They have so much to say about how you should be living your life. This person is out of line. They're out of place. They're doing things the wrong way, and yet somehow they're coming at you with all these opinions about how you should move, what you should focus on, and who you should be. They're telling you that you need healing. They're saying you need to focus as if you're not already focused, as if you're scattered or lost. But that couldn't be further from the truth. This is about love. This is a masculine energy who is truly trying to sell his perspective. He's not just sharing his thoughts, he's trying to convince you, persuade you, strong you into seeing things his way. He's saying things like, you need healing, you need to focus, you need to do this, you should be doing that. He's presenting himself as the wise one, the one who knows what's best for you. But here's the truth that the cards are revealing. You're already healed. You already love yourself. You're already focused. You're already operating in self-love at a level that is beautiful and powerful. You've done the inner work. You've walked through the fire. You've come out on the other side stronger, clearer, more aligned with who you truly are. And that's exactly what threatens him. This person sees your self-love. He sees how you move, how you carry yourself, how you're already whole and complete. He watches the way you prioritize yourself, the way you make decisions that honor your well-being, the way you've started to set boundaries and stick to them. He sees all of this, and it makes him deeply uncomfortable. Because what he wants, what he truly desires, is for all of that love, all of that focus, all of that healing energy to benefit him. He wants to make more use out of you. He wants you to pour into him the way you're pouring into yourself. Everything you're doing right now is benefiting you. Your meditation practice, your morning routine, your healthy eating, your exercise, your spiritual practices, your time alone, your creative pursuits, your education, your career moves. All of it is serving your highest good, and he's uncomfortable with that because he's not at the center of it anymore. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna start dangling promises in front of you. Marriage, a wedding, a future together. He's gonna paint these beautiful pictures of what could be if only you would change, if only you would adjust, if only you would come back to being who you were before all this self-love nonsense started. He's going to try to convince you that it would be beneficial for you to give more to him, to spend less time on yourself and more time on him, to make him the priority again. But here's what's interesting. These promises are going to sound far away, out of time,
out of reach,
vague, non-specific. Someday we'll get married. Eventually we'll do this. One day we'll have that. You're going to start thinking, what is this doing for me right now? What do all these distant, vague promises actually mean for me today? How does this help me in my life as it is right now? You're not the type of person who just accepts what someone hands you without question. You have a mind of your own. You think critically, you analyze, you question. You're gonna hear his promises and think, wait, so we're gonna get married if I do what exactly? If I give up my yoga classes, if I stop seeing my friends, if I quit my job, if I make my whole world about you, and how exactly does that help me? You see, you're that type of person. You're discerning, you're intelligent, you don't fall for the okie doke, as they say. You need substance, you need realness, you need something tangible, not just pretty words about some distant future that may never come. He's going to try to ramp up the romance. He's going to start being more affectionate, more attentive, at least on the surface. He wants you to look up to him. He wants to be the source of your romantic inspiration. In his mind, you should be doing the things you're doing to gain his approval because you're so crazy about him, because he's such an amazing guy. He wants to recapture that feeling of being the center of your universe. If he can get you to think that way, if he can get you to start making decisions based on whether or not he approves, then maybe, just maybe, you'll buy into his timeline. Maybe you'll start thinking differently about yourself. Maybe you'll second-guess this whole self-love journey you've been on. Maybe he can plant enough doubt in your mind that you'll abandon the path you're on and come back to where he's comfortable with you being. He's going to create this narrative that there are these huge, insurmountable obstacles that the two of you need to tackle together. He's going to frame it like it's us against the world, like you're a team fighting against these external forces. But here's the thing. The cards are showing very clearly, those obstacles all seem to revolve around you. Who you are, how you move. The problems he identifies are all about you needing to change, you needing to be better, you needing to do more. The obstacles aren't about him working on himself. They're not about him growing or evolving or healing. They're all about you needing to shrink back down to a size that's comfortable for him. You needing to dim your light so he doesn't feel overshadowed. You needing to be less so he can feel like more. He's gonna put pressure on you and it's gonna start intensifying. You need to be more about us. You need to focus more on us. Put more love into us. Don't you care about healing us? Every time I try to fix us, I'm the only one working on it. Don't you care? He's gonna make it seem like you're being selfish, like you're abandoning the relationship, like you're not invested in the partnership. But what he's really saying is, why aren't you making me the center of your world anymore? Why aren't you organizing your entire life around my needs and my comfort? He's going to try to refocus your self-focus. He's going to attempt to redirect all that beautiful energy you've been putting into yourself and channel it back toward him. He'll start asking probing questions. Is there something you're not telling me? Your emotions seem distant. I can't tell what's going on with you. You seem different. You seem like you're somewhere else. Are you hiding something from me? This is a tactic. This is a manipulation. This is him trying to get you to open up so he can figure out how to control you, how to play you, how to shift you into the frame of mind he wants you in. He wants access to your inner world so he can find the weak spots, the vulnerabilities, the places where he can plant seeds of doubt. You seem tense. You seem bottled up. You seem like you're carrying something heavy. Is there something you want to talk about? Something you want to share with me? I'm here for you. You can tell me anything. It all sounds so caring, so concerned, so loving. But what he's really doing is fishing for information he can use against you later. And then when you do share something, when you do open up, the gaslighting begins. I don't think you remember that correctly. That didn't happen the way you're saying it did. No, that's not what I said. That's not how it went down. I never said that. I never told you to focus on me and us. I said we need to focus on you. You're misremembering. You're twisting my words. I'm not trying to get you to put all your energy into me. I'm just trying to get you to think about the relationship, but not in a selfish way. Why are you making me out to be the bad guy here? There are going to be a lot of games being played. Mind games, emotional games, manipulation tactics. You need to prepare yourself for this, because what's really happening beneath the surface is that your self-love, your self-healing, your self-exaltation, it's triggering something deep within him. It brings out his shadow side. It brings out a darker nature that perhaps you haven't seen as clearly before. It brings out in him a desire to plot, to scheme, to figure out how to regain control. He's thinking, what can I do to change the story she's telling herself about herself? What can I do to get her to see things differently? What can I do to make her doubt herself again? What can I do to refocus her love so that it's all about me, lifting me up, worshiping me, centering me? I want to be the center of her world again. I want to be the center of her thoughts. I want to be the first thing she thinks about in the morning and the last thing on her mind at night. He feels like he used to be the center of your world, and now that you've been empowering yourself, it terrifies him. He wants to know where this is coming from. In his mind, this change didn't just happen naturally. Someone or something must have influenced you. Who are you hanging with now? What's going on? Are you spending time with new people? Is it those ladies at the gym? Are you listening to female empowerment podcasts? What are you doing on your morning walks? When you wake up early, what are you doing? Are you listening to affirmations? What are you reading? Who are you praying to? Who are you talking to? Who are you texting? This person is becoming increasingly suspicious because he wants to know where this sudden detachment and upliftment of the feminine is coming from. He wants to identify the source so he can cut it off, eliminate it, remove it from your life. To him, you're being negative. You're giving off bad vibes. You're bringing weird energy into the relationship. You're poisoning what we have. He's going to start using language like that to make you feel like your growth is actually a problem. He's jealous. Plain and simple. He's jealous of the way you love yourself now. He's jealous of the way you speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. He's jealous of the boundaries you've set. He's jealous of the healing you're putting into yourself. He's jealous of the time you spend on your own development. He's jealous that you've found the path to ascension, that you've received the spiritual signals and you're actually following them, that you're not ignoring your intuition anymore. When he sees a woman ascending, when he sees Queen of Pentacles energy manifesting, what he sees is this: she's about to walk into money. She's about to walk into abundance. She's about to not need me anymore. She's about to become financially independent. She's about to become the type of woman who only attracts high-value men, kings, masculine energies that are on her level. She's about to stand in such powerful feminine energy that I won't be able to compete. And that type of woman doesn't want me. That type of woman doesn't need me. She's about to become royalty. She's about to be completely out of my league. She's about to become everything I secretly don't feel I'm good enough for. I'm about to be intimidated by this woman. The more love she puts into herself, into her business, into her body, into her mind, into her spirit, the more likely it is that I'm going to wake up single one morning. That's his thought process. That's the fear running through his mind on a loop. Maybe when he first met you, you were in a different space. Maybe you were less mature, still figuring things out. Maybe you weren't as interested in self-validation because you were still seeking validation from external sources, including him. Maybe you didn't have as much going on for yourself. Maybe you weren't as outgoing or as outspoken. Maybe you hadn't found the right job yet, or you were still living in your hometown, or you hadn't discovered your purpose yet. But now, everything has changed. You've stepped into newness, new spaces, new opportunities, new levels of consciousness, a new era of your life. You're not the same woman he met. You've evolved, you've transformed. And this man is absolutely spooked by that transformation. He doesn't know what to do because all he knows how to do in relationship to you is be the sun in your sky. He wants to be your source of light, your source of warmth, your source of life. He wants to be your passion. He wants your excitement to be about him. Why are you excited about anything that isn't him? Even if that thing is you. Even if you're excited about your own growth, your own accomplishments, your own future. He wants it all to be about him. That's the bottom line. That's what this is really about. He feels threatened. He feels confused. He feels like the ground is shifting beneath his feet. Why isn't it all about me anymore? Why is she suddenly different? What happened? When did this change? How did I lose control of this situation? That's all he thinks about. It's consuming him. He feels off balance, like he's losing his footing in the relationship. Why are you burdening me with your ascension? What is this word that women use now anyway, ascension? I'm trying to pull you back into being a real woman, a traditional woman. A woman like my grandmother was. A woman who knew her place. A woman who made her man the center of her world. What is this modern woman thing you're doing? What is this self-love talk? What is this boundary setting? I can't use that. I can't work with that. I don't know what to do with this version of you. You're causing problems for me. I have to do more work around the house now. I have to wonder if you're going to cook for me. I have to wonder if you're going to be available when I want your attention. I have to wonder if you're going to listen to the things I say and actually take them seriously. You act like you don't need me to validate you anymore. You act like you're complete without me. You're becoming a weight on my back. Why don't you just stop all this? Stay home. What are you taking these classes for? What are you reading all these books for? What's with all this personal development? This is that energy. You know, it reminds me of that episode of Good Times when James Evans started acting up because Florida went down to the GED program. He felt so threatened by her desire to educate herself, to grow, to expand her world beyond the four walls of their apartment. He only had a 6th grade education, and he felt like if she got her GED, she would somehow outgrow him, leave him behind, realize she could do better. So he acted out. He tried to sabotage it. He tried to make her feel guilty for wanting more for herself. That's this type of energy. That's what you're dealing with. He's scared because he doesn't have what you have. He hasn't done the inner work. He hasn't faced his shadows. He hasn't healed his wounds. He hasn't committed to his own growth and evolution. And deep down, he knows that if you keep loving yourself and putting one foot in front of the other on this path, it's going to leave him out in the cold. Because he can't keep up. He can't match your energy. He can't meet you where you are. He's smiling on the outside, trying to play it cool, trying to seem supportive. But he's dying on the inside. He's panicking. He knows that if you keep going on this trajectory, you're going to be gone. Not just physically leaving, but energetically, you're going to be in a completely different realm where he can't reach you. Ace of Pentacles is showing up here. This card is telling me that you're going to be a divine feminine energy, completely surrounded by money, surrounded by abundance, going through the death cycle into ascension, into transformation. You're not just receiving money and abundance, you're going to become it. You're going to embody it. Your energy is going to shift to such a high frequency that abundance and prosperity will flow to you naturally, effortlessly. See, here's what happens in the collective. And this is something I want to make sure you understand. When we go through that death cycle, that spiritual death and rebirth, we become a new being. We receive new light codes, new downloads from the universe, new activation codes that literally change our energetic signature. And we shapeshift. We become someone we weren't before. And when we shapeshift, when we truly transform at that soul level, the best way, the most effective way to completely eliminate certain people and certain energies from our lives is to become someone else. Not in a fake way, not in a pretending way, but in a genuine transformation way. You literally become a different person energetically. You vibrate at a different frequency. You're no longer a match for the old energies, the old relationships, the old patterns. That's how you do it. You shapeshift. And at that point, it's over for them. They can't reach you anymore. You're in a different dimension. And at that point, it's over for them. Because they literally cannot access you anymore, even if you're standing right in front of them. Any masculine who's dealt with a divine feminine before knows this. This is his greatest fear. His absolute worst nightmare is that you go through this spiritual death cycle and shift into the next version of yourself. Because he's been left behind before. Maybe not by you, but by someone. He's seen how it works. He knows that when a woman truly transforms, there's no getting her back. She's gone. Not just physically, energetically, spiritually. She's in a completely different space. We see examples of this all the time in the collective. One of the best, most powerful examples is Tina Turner. May she rest in peace. Tina went through that ascension process. She got into spiritual energy. She started doing her Buddhist chants. She started meditating. She started reclaiming her power. She leveled up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. She walked out of that abusive situation and fought her way out, and she was never the same again. The next time we saw Tina, she had completely transformed. She wasn't singing the same kind of music. She wasn't moving the same way. She wasn't even in the same country. She had shapeshifted so completely that she became an entirely different being. She was living a different life, performing different music, embodying a completely new energy. She went from singing those sad sap songs, as she called them, to becoming a rock star, private dancer. What's love got to do with it? We don't need another hero. Different energy, different vibration, different woman. And Ike never heard from her again. Not in any real, meaningful way. He knew he never would. Once she went through that spiritual ascension, there was no coming back. She had moved to a frequency he couldn't access. She was in Switzerland, living her best life, shaking her tail feather, thriving, glowing, free. Ike spent the rest of his life talking about it, trying to explain it, trying to justify what happened, trying to get her attention in some way. But Tina, she was on the other side of the world, literally and figuratively. When she did mention his name, it was only in the book she wrote, I, Tina, and in the film that came out about her life. And it ruined his life. It exposed everything. That's the only way he heard from her, through epic, subliminal, devastating truth that she shared with the world. She didn't engage with him. She didn't argue with him. She didn't try to defend herself to him. She just told her truth, lived her life, and kept ascending. And that, divine feminine, is the ultimate power move. That's a powerful lesson for anyone on the divine feminine path. When it's time to exit a realm, it's time to exit. When it's time to transform, it's time to transform. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone access to the new version of you. You don't have to bring everyone with you into your next chapter. And this masculine in your situation, he's not happy. He sees it happening for you. He can feel the shift even if he can't articulate it. He knows it's time for you to go, even if he won't admit it out loud. You're in full gratitude now. You're aligned with your purpose. You're in your flow. You're doing your thing. But he's desperately trying to pull you back to earlier times. He wants you living a simple life. A life that's simple for him, where he doesn't have to compete with your ambitions, your dreams, your growth. He wants you practically living like a Quaker, like the Amish, with a little bonnet on, content with a small, contained life that revolves around him and his needs. But that's not who you are. That's not who you're becoming. He wants you to feel like you're betraying him by growing. He wants you to feel guilty for evolving. What about us? What about the simple life we had? Remember when things were easier? Remember when you had more time for me? Remember when I was your world? But he's not going to be able to do anything with that line of manipulation, because the energy around you is showing celestial love, focused on the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, luck, blessings, growth, and opportunity. You're in Jupiter energy right now, which means you're about to expand in every area of your life. You're about to move into new spaces. You're about to receive blessings you couldn't even imagine. You're about to step into wealth. Not just financial wealth, but wealth of spirit, wealth of experience, wealth of relationships, wealth of opportunity. There's nothing he's going to be able to do about that. This is divinely orchestrated. This is your time. This is your season. He can be upset. That's his business. He can throw a fit. He can pout. He can try to guilt trip you. But you are washing away your troubles because you're ascending. You're releasing what no longer serves you. You're clearing out the old to make room for the new. And unfortunately for him, he's one of your troubles. He's one of the things that's being washed away in this process. Protect your relationship with yourself at this time. That's the only thing that's truly important right now, because he's trying to come against your relationship with yourself. He's trying to make you doubt yourself, question yourself, second-guess yourself. He's trying to damage the beautiful relationship you've built with your own soul. You can express your vulnerability if you'd like. If you feel called to have a conversation with him, you can do that from a place of groundedness and clarity. You can let him know, "I'm not hurt or upset with you about how you feel. I understand that you're uncomfortable with the changes I'm making. I understand that this is triggering for you, but I have a clean heart. I have a healed heart. You're right. I have healed. I have practiced self-love. I have done the work. And I don't have to be guarded or defensive in telling you that. This is who I am now. This is where I am. If you don't like where I'm at, if this doesn't work for you, that's perfectly fine. That's your choice. But I'm not going backward. I'm not shrinking. I'm not dimming my light. I'm not abandoning myself to make someone else comfortable." We have Leo energy here in this reading. Leo is the lion, the king, the queen. Leo energy is about confidence, self-expression, creativity, leadership, and stepping into your power unapologetically. With this energy supporting you, you can walk out that door and find someone much bigger and better, someone who celebrates your growth instead of fearing it, someone who matches your energy instead of trying to diminish it. Your healed energy, your high vibration, your divine feminine essence is going to attract the divine masculine with ease. It's not going to be difficult. It's not going to be a struggle. You're not going to have to chase, convince, or prove yourself. The right person is going to recognize your value immediately. They're going to see your light and be drawn to it like a moth to a flame. It's going to be easier than easy for you to step into balanced, reciprocal, healthy love. Divine feminine, you hold the wine. In tarot imagery, you hold the cup, the chalice, the vessel of emotional fulfillment. You hold the power. You hold the controls. You are ascended, or you're in the process of ascending, which is the same thing. You're on the path, and that's what matters. You're stepping into a new realm for yourself. You're entering a new dimension of existence. You're not stuck on him anymore. The emotional hooks, the trauma bonds, the codependency, it's dissolving. You've learned how to fight these types of battles. Nine of Wands energy is showing up here, which represents resilience, perseverance, and wisdom gained through experience. You've learned how to fight battles with masculine energies that try to control you, manipulate you, or hold you back. You've been through this before, maybe not with this exact person, but with this type of energy. And you've learned, you've grown. You've developed tools and strategies. You have mastered that. He's no longer a real opponent for you in that way. He thinks he's still in the game, but you've already moved beyond the playing field. That's something he's going to have to realize, accept, and face. He's no longer an opponent for you, because you're no longer operating at that frequency. You are at a place in your life now where it's easy for you to walk away from what doesn't serve you. You're not going to fight for scraps. You're not going to beg someone to see your value. You're not going to convince someone to treat you right. You're simply going to move on with grace. You are shifting into a whole other being, a whole other realm of consciousness. He's not going to be able to hold you back with his foolishness anymore. His games won't work. His manipulation tactics will fall flat. His guilt trips will have no effect. You've built up an immunity to that energy. And here's what's so beautiful about it. We see the rose, the pink rose in this reading. The thing that's so powerful about your transition is that when you move away from this masculine, you're going to move away from him with grace and sweetness. You're not going to be bitter. You're not going to be angry. You're not going to be vengeful. You can still be vulnerable, open, and soft. That is your transformation. Your softness and your femininity are at such a high level now. Your beauty, both inner and outer, is going to be at a higher level. Your grace, your poise, your presence, everything about you is going to be elevated. You're going to glow differently. You're going to move differently. You're going to speak differently. People are going to look at you and think, what happened? What changed? She's different. So it is what it is. He's just gonna have to feel that. He's gonna have to sit with the reality that you're in another space now. You've moved on. Even if you're still physically present, energetically, spiritually, you're already gone. If this message resonated with you today, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mystic Twinflame Tarot Psychic. Share this reading with someone in your life who may need to hear it, someone who's going through their own transformation, someone who's stepping into their power, someone who needs validation that they're on the right path. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a message from this channel. I'm Leo, and I'll see you in the next reading. Until then, keep ascending, keep growing, and keep choosing yourself. Blessings.